Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a fragrance first impression on this fragrance right here from Alexandre J, and it's Zaheer Oud Vanille. I've had my eye on this fragrance for a bit, and I've actually had this sample for probably close to 4 or 5 months now, because I really liked the notes and composition of this fragrance, but I haven't tried it yet. I figured now's as good a time as any. So if you'd like to know what I think about this fragrance, then keep watching. If you're unfamiliar with how my first impressions videos work, let me remind you, as I always do. I have a fragrance that I have never tried, or in most cases, I've never tried it on my skin. I put it on my skin, I give it about 10 to 15 seconds to settle in my skin, and then I'll give you my first impression of the opening. Then I'll come back, sometimes 15-20 minutes, sometimes an hour, and give you my first impressions of the dry down. Now, I would like to give you guys mini reviews of these fragrances, but I do know it takes more than a first impression or one wear to do these fragrances justice and to give you a really accurate, honest review. So what I'm going to do is wear this throughout the week or 2 weeks, depending on how long I feel like I need to sample it. And then next first impressions video, I will be giving you guys my impressions of this fragrance at the very end of the video. So I'll let you know about longevity, I'll let you know about how it developed on my skin, if it's worth picking up, and also about goods and bads. I usually also will reference my initial first impression. So if you guys want to know what I think of this in its entirety, or at least a mini review, that'll come at the next first impressions video, which means at the end of this video I'm going to have my little mini review of last week's fragrance, which was Gardenia from Roja Parfums. So what initially really drew me to this fragrance was the notes. I love gourmand fragrances, I love oud fragrances, and I was looking for something delicious and fun and sweet to wear in the fall. So the notes in this kind of really excited me. So the top notes are leather, coconut, and toffee. The heart notes are clove, tonka bean, white wood, and ylang. And the base notes are musk, oud, and vanilla. I'm hoping this smells like a beautiful, like white floral. I want the ylang to be really strong in this with the oud, with like a coconut, vanilla, clove. I'm hoping for some type of delicious, woody, deep dessert. And I like the idea of the leather in this too. So unfortunately, I don't have a spritzer. I'm going to be dabbing this on my skin. So this isn't the best way to do it. This is the only thing I have against Lucky Scent. I wish they had atomizers, but I'd pay more. I would totally pay more for atomizers and larger samples. So I just put it on my skin, and I'm gonna let it sit for 10 seconds. I'll be right back. Alright, so let's check out the opening, shall we? The opening of this, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little harsh, a little bit overpowering, but again, I'm putting it on with the dabber, so it could be that. I'll definitely, give it a little bit of, I won't take too many points off for that. But I never trust the openings anyway. Just because I like an opening of a fragrance, I really care about the dry down, so I'm just letting you guys know what I think, but it's not bad. It smells a little synthetic coconut. I'm not getting much oud. So I'm getting like white woods, coconut, vanilla, and a little bit of musk. So yeah. Real quick, because my husband's very proud of himself. Hurricane Irma is coming, so we're making provisions, and my husband was baking bread. And he made a loaf of sourdough skull bread. You're so silly. I had to put that in there. I'm sorry, guys. He was so proud. He was so cute. He's like walking up next to me, and he's holding it. I was like, that's awesome. Alright, so I'm going to let this sit on my skin because it's smelling a little synthetic, a little not amazing, not bad, but not like, it smells more of like a body mist you get from the Body Shop or Bath and Body Works than a nice oudy perfume. I'm definitely gonna let this settle. I think this needs to dry down. I'm gonna let this dry down for an hour. I really think that this is going to need more time to develop on my skin. So if I feel like it starts to develop a little bit quicker than an hour, then huzzah. But if not, I will see you guys in an hour. Okay, I'm back, and it's been a little over an hour, like an hour and 2-3 minutes. It's definitely changed on my skin and for the better, which is really, really nice. Initial opening was kind of strong, synthetic, harsh. Not bad, but not something you'd want out of a nice fragrance. Something you'd probably, again, expect out of like a scented body lotion or body wash, or like a body mist you'd get on sale, like buy one, get one free from Bath & Body Works. So I'm really liking how it's developing so far. I'm not getting much oud in this though. That's my thing. So far, like, there's like virtually no oud. And if there's oud in a name, you want the oud to be there. So I feel like the oud's gonna come later. I mean, maybe if I think about it and wish really hard, I can find the oud. I'm not picking up much oud on this, I'm gonna be honest. But subtract the oud from it. Subtract the fact that it says Oud Vanille. I never remember the correct way to pronounce that. I'm very sorry. I'm looking at a very gourmandish, sweet, creamy coconut fragrance. And that's part of what I wanted out of this. When I was reading the notes, I wanted something leathery and oudy with like a base of a creamy dessert. And I'm getting that creamy dessert, and after it kind of dried down on my skin, it didn't feel so synthetic. It definitely smells a little bit more natural. And sometimes people hark on synthetic notes. I don't mind synthetic notes. I just don't want it to smell cheap. And sometimes synthetic notes, if they're not mixed correctly or the fragrance isn't balanced correctly, it can smell a little bit out of place. But that doesn't mean that they're bad notes, because there's some synthetic notes out there that are amazing, and there's some fragrances out there that use a lot of synthetic notes that it works really well. But when I'm talking about using synthetic as a negative, is there's something unbalanced about it. There's something that doesn't smell right or expensive. And if I'm talking about some fragrances in these first impressions videos, these are at least $100. Some of these that I'm talking about are $300, $400, $500. So if you're spending that much money, you don't want a fragrance that smells like it costs 50 bucks. So the opening of this was harsh, but it's actually blended together. It definitely needed to sit on my skin to really start to warm up and show its beauty. It's very creamy, it's very sweet, it's a balance of cool and warm. And I definitely like that there is some woodsy notes in the background. I just wish it wasn't white woods. I wish it was oud, because I think that darkness, that smokiness, that depth that oud has would take this from, like, right now it's like a 6 to like a 9 or a 10. Because the dessert portion of this, the sweet gourmandy portion of this, I'm really loving. But it needs that smokiness. It needs that oud. I'm kind of reminded of one of my favorite teas to drink is called Lapsang Souchong, and it's a smoky black tea, and it's smoked. It tastes like liquid smoke, or like a smoked piece of meat, only without the meat and tea. And when I drink that tea, some people just drink it black, but I like to drink that with a lot of cream and a lot of sugar. And I like that balance of the smoky, bitter tea with the cream, with the sugar, and sometimes I'll add some spices in there as well. Maybe I'll add a little pot of cardamom, maybe I'll add a little bit of cinnamon. It works really well to balance everything out, and it becomes really delicious. So when I saw the oud, I kind of was hoping it was going to be a balance like that tea I like to drink. Sweet, creamy, a little bit bitter, and smoky and woodsy. And it's missing that one part of it that I was really hoping for. So I'm a little let down. Not because this isn't a beautiful fragrance, but because when I saw oud and there's no oud, I feel like this is lacking something that would have made this fragrance amazing. So it's not bad, it smells really, really nice, but I am a little bit disappointed and let down because I was expecting more. But I'm definitely going to wear through the sample, and maybe the oud will come out after a few more hours. We will see. So I will let you guys know what I think about this next first impression. Alright, so last week's fragrance. Last week's fragrance was from Roja Parfums, and it was Gardenia Eau de Parfum. Now this is a fragrance that initially I was really excited for because I love the idea of gardenia fragrances. I love white florals, and I was really interested to see how Roja was going to tackle the conundrum of the gardenia flower. And I feel like he did it quite beautifully. I really love this fragrance. Initially it opened up and it was a little bit astringent, a little bit abrasive, and it still smelled really beautiful, but it didn't smell quite what I was hoping for. I was hoping for like a creamy white floral with a little bit of a green bitterness in there. After the dry down, I think it was like half an hour, it started to smell exactly what I wanted it to smell like, which was like a gardenia bush, like a wet, first thing in the morning, dew-filled gardenia bush. And I can say with all certainty that the longer I wore this fragrance, the more I realized this was ridiculously gorgeous and exactly what I'm looking for in a gardenia fragrance. Because for me, a fragrance like that it has this nostalgia factor of the gardenia bush that was right outside our front door when I would go to school, and it would be blooming, and some of the flowers would be new and some of the flowers would be old and overripe and brown, the bitterness of the leaves and the wetness of the dew, and everything just kind of came together with this fragrance. And after about an hour and a half to 2 hours of wearing it, it was perfect. So you lost the soapiness of it, you lost the astringentness of it in the opening and the initial dry down which was there, and after about an hour and a half it became a beautiful gardenia fragrance, and definitely one I will add to my collection. Will most definitely be buying this in the future. It had pretty good longevity considering. Got about 6 hours of wear, which is really nice. And the projection of this wasn't too bad. It projected just about arm's length for maybe about an hour or two. But a fragrance like this with gardenia and white flowers and a little bit of bitterness, I would want it to be a little bit more intimate. So after the an hour or two, when it started to kind of sit a little bit closer to the skin, I think was the ideal time to wear this. Now, although this is really beautiful and sits close to the skin, with white florals, I'm always very hesitant to say wear it to. I'm very hesitant to say to wear it into a work environment. So I would say maybe wear with caution. But overall it was really, really beautiful and I loved it, and I will definitely be adding it to my collection. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always guys, if you like my fragrance videos, first impressions, things like this, remember to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this, and also don't forget to subscribe because it's free and I'm free, and I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends as well. So always have something for you to watch. In case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever. And I'll see you next time. Bye!